Hello and welcome to a spooky episode of Shellbys Corner. Okay. Halloween edition. Let's do this. Shellby, can you die in the afterlife? I sure diddly can, but can you? Shellby, if you die in the afterlife, where would you go next? If you die in the afterlife, you go into like a second level of the afterlife, like underneath the sewer level of afterlife. You just like chill out in the afterlife sewers with the afterlife Ninja Turtles and you eat afterlife pizza because party time, bros. Shellby, if you die in the game, will you die for real? You die in the game, will you die for real? Depending on which type of game. If you're in a VR game and you die in the VR game, you die in real life. If you just play a random desktop game, it's fine. And then if you go in VR, you die. Shellby, when? Question mark? What does that mean? I'm sorry, what? Shellby, what happens after death? Before you go into the afterlife, you gotta stand in the afterlife gates and take a few tests just to see if you actually belong in the afterlife, because sometimes people just are there randomly because they went to sleep and then they wake up in the afterlife and they're like, whoa, what the shit? I didn't even die. And the people are like, oh shit, my bad. So they make you take a test of the living, just to see if you are living. So if you're living, you go back to Earth and you just live out the rest of your life knowing that there is an afterlife, and then you become like a crazy religious cult leader and everything. You go like, oh, the world is ending, you must join my cult. Otherwise you're not saved. Shellby, when will I die? You will die in approximately 10 years on the 27th of January, 4:20 p.m. You will die by accidentally being struck by lightning 3 times in one row. After the 3 times, you're still fine, but you end up in the hospital because of the burns and shit. And then while you're in the hospital, some corrupt doctor is all like, hey, I'm gonna kill you anyway because it's my job. And you're like, no, it's not your job. You're a doctor. You're supposed to save people. And the doctor's just like, oh shit, you're right. Well, it's too late now. I already put poison in your bloodstream. And you're like, oh shit, it's okay, fam squad. It was an honest mistake. And the doctor's just like, yeah, I feel so bad right now. Here, why don't we just like sing songs together while you die? And you're just like, oh yeah, okay, why not? And so you guys like both sing songs together. It's really fun. And it's a nice time before you like die. And then you go into the afterlife and the doctor feels bad and he goes to your funeral and he talks there and he confesses his love for you. He's like, oh, I fell in love with him in his last moments. I wish I didn't do it. And he accidentally like confessed to your murder and he's like, fuck. And then the people at the funeral is like, fuck. So the police are called and the doctor gets arrested and he's like, fuck. So he goes to jail for your murder and he chills out in jail and he finds a new lover, but that new lover dies because of unknown reasons and he's blamed for his other lover's death even though he had no part in that one. He's like, fuck. So he just lives out the rest of his life in jail while you're chilling in the afterlife eating like afterlife pizza, but not with the afterlife Ninja Turtles because you didn't die in the afterlife. Not yet anyway. I'm sorry, what was I talking about? Shellby, why are you still alive? I ask myself that question like every single day. Why am I still alive? What is my purpose? Every time I wake up in the morning, aka 12 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm a sleepy piece of shit, I'm like, shit, I'm alive. I can't go chill out in the afterlife with my peeps because, you know, I have to stay here and pay taxes and do all that fucking bullshit and have to wait for like climate change to come because you know what? Climate change is here. It's coming and the world's gonna burn because the world leaders are pieces of shit that they don't even like step up and they don't even But yeah, I don't know why I'm still alive. You'll have to ask afterlife Jesus for that. I don't fucking know. Shellby, if I state in my final will and testament that my stuff would only go to my children and spouse when I die, but I end up dying without a family, where would all my belongings go? Your belongings will go to the nearest person next to you when you die. Since you die from the doctor's hands, I guess the doctor gets all your belongings and stuff because the doctor accidentally killed you and you're like shit and he's like shit and fuck, and so he gets all your belongings. Shellby, if everyone who once died was brought back to life, Would that be fucked up or what? That would be fucked up. It'd be really interesting for like a couple of hours. It'd be really nice and like everyone would get along, but like after that the appeal would just like die out and people would be like, oh, this is actually kind of annoying that my great grandmother is here chilling out at home with me. I kind of just want to like bang my wife or something, but you know, my great grandmother and grandfather are here and they're like watching everywhere, and like all my other dead relatives are here too chilling out, so there's like literally nowhere I can bang my wife, so it's awkward. And I mean, I'd probably like ask dead political figures about some shit like, what the fuck, you know? You get me? So, it would be fucked up, actually. So people are meant to be dead. Like, if someone dies, they'll stay dead. I'm sorry, villains out there who want to resurrect a dead loved one, because that's their origin story, but people are supposed to stay dead. It'd be really jarring to just wake up after dying and being like, oh shit, I'm back in the living world now. That's kind of fucked up. I was chilling out in the afterlife and having a fun time, and like all of a sudden I'm brought back here and I have to pay taxes again.